As a youth hunter in the Southeast, campfire tales of lions across the region haunted my dark, pre-dawn tree stand approaches. My own imagination set visions of lions stalking me while afield, leading to an inevitable, chilling face-to-face experience. As I grew, my once fear for lions became a fierce respect for the apex predator. An increased knowledge of lion habitat, hunting techniques, and culinary enthusiasm all urged my adventurous spirit to engage in lion hunting. I was privileged to strike a relationship with a Wyoming native and lion fanatic. His obsession with chasing cats was tangible, but his passion as a houndsman was unmatched. The sights, sounds, and excitement while hunting with hounds is classic and must be experienced firsthand. Growing up an outdoorsman, indoctrination of conservation groups and the countless acts they provide for their respective species are prevalent. The role mountain lions perform in their habitat and the importance of resource management is rarely articulated. I sat down and spoke with Wyoming wildlife biologist Tim about mountain lion populations and management strategies. Tim has 25 plus years experience with game and fish.
So our objective for the state of Wyoming and for the Game and Fish Department is to maintain healthy mountain lion populations in the core habitats. So we want to maintain varying levels of density. There's a few things that depends on what our management for particular areas are. Obviously, prey abundance. We want to maintain ungulate populations in balance with their habitat.
The management of the mountain lions, we want them to have a healthy population. We don't want to eliminate the mountain lions, but we also want a really healthy population of the ungulates around the same area.
Yeah, exactly. We have no desire to eliminate mountain lions in the state of Wyoming, but we want to keep them in check in balance with their prey base as well as other social considerations such as humans' demand for hunting opportunity
For mountain lions
as well as the ungulates, and also to reduce conflicts with depredation on livestock or potential conflicts with humans.
So say I harvest a mountain lion in the next couple days and I'm lucky enough to get on one. What will you collect from that lion and why? Why do we collect it?
Well, obviously the first stuff we collect is the hunter information.
Okay, yeah, to make sure I'm legal.
Make sure you're legal, check your license and get all that information, capture that information. We look at the data harvest. We can look at that over time to see when our peak harvest periods are. We look at the gender of the harvest to see whether we're harvesting males or females, and that plays an important role in our management. We look at the relative age of the animal. We'll give you an estimated age when we check it in. And then we'll also pull a premolar tooth out of it to send to our lab in Laramie, and they'll do cementum analysis. Teeth in all ungulates put down layers like a tree ring. And,
it'll tell you how old the animal actually is?
Yep, so they can look at that under a microscope and age the animal more precise than we can. Some hunters bring in an actual GPS location for where they've harvested the animal. Some are a little more broad, maybe to a section and just point to a spot on a map.
What do you have to say about hunting with hounds?
So in Wyoming, we do allow hounds to pursue and hunt lions with. Probably 90% or more of our harvest on an annual basis is through hound hunting. Some states have made it illegal to use hounds, such as Oregon and Washington. One interesting fact there that we've seen is that they tend to harvest more females out of the population through just opportunistic hunting. They tend to be more selective when they're hound hunting. They can choose whether or not the cat that they've treed they want to harvest or not.
Is a harvestable cat, or is it tom or a female or something where they can get up close and they can look at it, they can identify it, and they can say this is a cat that would help the general management plan
Exactly.
overall.
During opportunistic hunting scenarios such as in Oregon or Washington, when people see a cat,
they walk across a cat and they go, hey,
they don't take the time. Yeah, they don't take the time to look at it very well.
A lot of that has to do with the opportunistic hunting and what exactly is the management plan trying to do.
Exactly.
A fresh track was cut hours before dawn. The dogs were anxious and eager to chase. The chorus of hounds working together on the mountain was heard for miles. The difference between a hound on a trail versus a hound with a treed cat is noticeably different, and we excitingly hiked and listened for the distant bark of a successful chase. As we covered ground, I enjoyed the idea that both myself and this apex predator share land and covet the same bugling bull these mountains sustain in September. Moving towards the chorus of howls, there is an excitement that at any minute the trail howls could turn into a constant tree bark. The GPS used to follow the hounds tracks location, distance, speed, and barks per minute. While on chase, hounds are out of sight and sometimes not audible. This tool indicates to the houndsman security of the hounds and potential outcomes of the chase. As we ascended to the howls, the sound shifted to sharp and distinct constant barks. My heart started beating rapidly, and Ben turned to me with a smile only an experienced houndsman would present. With a bold exclamation and excitement, we began moving quickly towards the treed lion. With many thoughts as we climbed rocks and downfall, my mind only focused on the initial sight of a treed lion. I have little words to explain my composure as we approached the barking hounds. We weaved through the cover, searching the treetops as distance closed. With rocks beneath my feet, I noticed a lion peering through conifers directly at me. Our approach was successful, and it made me proud to be part of a process. A team that could not complete the task without each other. Managing a resource and hiking hard to get to the most remote locations only cats would reside. The mature Tom was not happy to see us. We clearly ruined his plans for the day. This Tom was recently off a fresh kill site. As I settled my crosshairs on my 240 Weatherby, all the experiences leading up to this one pulled the trigger. Watching the lion fall from its perch was a sign of good bullet placement, but something morbidly necessary. The hounds went silent. Their job was finished. We approached the expired lion respectfully, yet celebrated the chase. I sat face to face with a predator that struck fear into the hearts of all the animals in the Bighorns. An animal that thrived while remaining unseen. The years of kills and consumption now passing to the nourishment of a random human that only had a chance because of a houndsman. Without the hounds, this task would be impossible. For that, I am forever grateful. The only thing better than the hunt is cooking the harvest. This being my first participation with cooking lion, I was fortunate to recruit my friend Ryan Callaghan from MeatEater to guide me in preparing a couple lion meals. Ryan has experience cooking lion and quickly jumped on the opportunity. On a precautionary note, avoid undercooking lion meat. It may contain infectious bacteria that, if not cooked correctly, could be harmful to humans. Consult professionals for internal temperatures and cooking methods. On the first dish, we began with cutting mildly thick steaks from the lion loin. We used a bottle to both tenderize and thin the meat. We attempted to pound the steak flat to also decrease toughness. Using an egg white mix, we coated the lion tenders with seasoned flour. The Weston deep fryer suited our needs in cooking the meat to the appropriate temp and giving us an added crunch. We topped off the bread with onions, mayo, mustard, and pickles. Our second dish was lion lettuce wraps. Once again, we used a bottle to both tenderize and flatten the cut. Once flat, we diced the cuts into small, somewhat grounded pieces. Mixing with green onion before cooking gives a unique flavor in the browning process. For added flavor, we mixed Chinese 5-spice and white pepper. Sautéed on low heat until cooked. The toppings on this dish are crushed toasted peanuts, mint, and cilantro. Plum sauce, sweet chili paste, and rice vinegar together gave an additional taste combined with the lettuce wraps. Cal, thanks for coming down and cooking this cat with me.
Mountain lions can kind of be a contentious issue with some.
Yeah, sure.
Because they're like, oh, it's a trophy animal. It's a trophy animal. Well, like, as we all know, like, all animals are trophy animals. Doesn't matter what it is, cottontail rabbit to mountain lion. One of the things that, like, makes this, like, trophy thing an issue is people are like, well, you guys, you're not eating it.
Yeah.
And mountain lion is a favorite meat of mine.
It's delicious.
It's great. It's great.
This gives me more reason to go after mountain lions.
Oh yeah, like before, I'm sure you're kind of like, well, yeah, I'll make time for that at some point. That'd be great.
Sure.
But once you know how good the meat is,
Yeah.
that's when I'm like, yes, I really do want a mountain lion.
Yeah.
Not like, boy, I'd love to go on the hunt and then figure out what the heck to do with it.
Yeah. Fangs, teeth, cool, predator.
Right.
But this really adds a different level to it and is the most important part of this entire equation.
Oh, yeah. Like, once you get into the meat part, if the regulations changed, it was like, oh, well, you can't actually take the claws or the teeth out.
Sure.
You'd be like, that's fine, I still want.
Yeah, still gonna go shoot.
Yeah.
Seeking out information and learning from the guidance of others is how most of us started in the outdoors. Years of experience passed down to the next eager outdoorsman. The process of managing, hunting, chasing, and cooking mountain lion will continue to be a fascinating topic for years to come. The opportunity to be face to face with the mountain lion is a memory for a lifetime.